What up, everybody? It's your boy Mr.Nightspyder, and I've been waiting for this guy for a long time. It looks like they reissued him, and I didn't see much fanfare or news about it, but let's check him out. As you can see here, you got the front here. You have, I believe it's a Shadow King head. You have a part of Cerebro you can wear, and then it looks like I got to put the chair together. On the side, that is a pretty cool graphic of Professor X. We have some images of him looking like he's in very deep thought. There's him with the Cerebro helmet, and then they have like some details going on with showing the details of his wheelchair or hover chair in this case. Here's some details if you want to read it. Feel free to read if you want to read. Reading is good. And then I guess this was actually part back in the day of, what is it, the Hit Monkey wave? No, that was Deadpool, some Deadpool scooter wave. But without further ado, you know what time it is. Let's get this bad boy open. All right, guys, you know how this is. All right, we're going to take the blade. I'm going to cut the wrapper. There we go. That's it. Part of me wants to keep this guy in the package, but it must be opened. Oh, look at that. That is a detail you can easily miss. You got all the X-Men in the background. That might actually be worth keeping as a little backdrop on my display shelf. Very cool. Hopefully you guys can see it. If not, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep this one. I'm 100% sure. There we are. All the goodies. We have the blanket. Once he's in the chair, got to have the blanket. There's one part of the chair. You guys getting all this? I hope so. There's the other portion of the chair. So we have parts of the chair. Cushion. More cushion. Ooh, I'm a little rough on all that. Good thing those pieces are made to come apart. Whew. All right, everything's disassembled now. Now let's take a look at this real quick. I don't have this Build-A-Figure, but I do now. I have the Shadow King's head. That's going to go in my bin of accessory heads that probably will never be completed. Let's look at Cerebro helmet. Very cool Cerebro helmet. And then they actually have the little tab here on the back, which we saw as I pulled it out, which plugs into this. So you could get that. Let me see if I can. Probably have to use my pinky finger to get that in there really good. Yep. And that's what's going to give the. Let's see, get it noggin in there. Oh my god, what a different, that's a terrible picture, but you get the idea. God. Oh, look at that. I don't know, I pictured his powers being like yellow, not necessarily white, but you know, whatever. This one, since it is I'm surprised it's a reissue, but if you'll notice, you know, now that we're looking at the figure, they didn't use the pegless joints on the knees. Granted, this guy's going to be sitting most of the time, but you do have the double hinge knees. I wish they did pegless. That would have been cool if they updated him a little bit. Yikes. His feet are incredibly stiff. I mean, they probably take into account that, like, hey, this guy's going to be in a wheelchair. But yeah, those are incredibly stiff. This pose, let's see. Let's get this correct. Okay, there we go. Here we go. There we go. That's a little better. Let's see. It's a little better, right? Part of me likes that his shoulder is very simple, because sometimes the butterfly ones get a little rattly. But you got the simple shoulder, you got an ab crunch that you probably won't be using. An ab crunch you probably won't be using too often. The jacket's pliable, so that's good. You could bend it and get the jacket out there like that. That's cool. Tie is a little loosey-goosey. Upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. And he's kind of like, his hand is kind of like he's using a force or something. Very cool. We're going to have Professor X right now is going to have the miracle of walking. I don't think I like this Cerebro helmet. My God. It is messy. All right. Professor X, you're going to stand over there. Now let's get this chair together. All right. That's probably the best way to do that. Why is this so nerve-wracking? My God. So there we have it. Professor X's chair, his hover chair. So, I mean, it's a straightforward plastic. They didn't really get into all the molded detail as far as painting, but they did get some parts here. A little bit there, a little bit on the side, and I think these consoles open up here. Let's see. So let's see, if you open that, you have a little bit of action going on. That's cool. You guys see that? Boom. You can see the detail there on the little plastic cushion, a little detail here on the back portion for Mr. Professor. Overall, it's a solid piece. This, I don't recall it, on the show it just hovered, but here they have to do some kind of mechanism to keep it in place to give it that vibe, but didn't have a rocket coming out the bottom or type of vibe. So, yeah. So again, a very cool look at the chair. I wonder if there may be a way that it's just maybe a little better if I put the heavier part in here. I don't think it makes a difference. This isn't entirely symmetrical. Maybe it's a little better. It's gonna drive me crazy trying to get this guy leveled. Anyway, I'm getting too caught up in that. Let's get Professor X in the chair. So, let's see how simple this is. Alrighty. See if we get him. It looks like a seating position, yeah. Let's see. All right, let's try that again. Get his head up there. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. There we get the little blanket. Let's see how that's gonna. Let's see how that's gonna. There we go. Look at that. We got the Professor X blanket going. Look at that. See? Boom. Now, this is like a better look. I just do like this. Oh, that does not do any good. There we go. That looks good. That is a massively cool looking figure. Look at that. That just, I really like that. That makes me happy. That's the look. Look at that. Go a little closer if you want, I guess. And it really, really is how I'd want to. That looks amazing. I don't even know what to say. It's going to be perfect on my X-Men shelf. This is so sick. Very happy with it. So I like. I don't know if lost for words is the correct phrase, but I'm very pleased with how this figure looks. Like this is legit. This is the vibe I wanted. My only gripe, only gripe, and I almost had a feeling, is this Cerebro helmet is not at all as good as I expected it to be. Maybe if I move that arm a little bit more. That just does not look as good as I hoped it would. That bothers me. But overall, the package itself, fantastic. However, this wouldn't be a Mr.Nightspyder review unless I didn't have a bonus for you. Because I want to see if I can make some changes to the head with this bad boy. Professor X. What is this? House of X. I can't remember where they were at. Let's see. Oh my god, this is going to drive me crazy. But I have a backup Professor X, and we're going to crack him open and see if that head will work on that body. Let's go. Let's do this. You know we got to do this. You already know. And I want to give a shout out. I got both of these at Fantastic Collectibles. So as you can see here, this looks like the same body mold as Havoc. Like, it's just literally just a black suited, just basic body. So we have Professor X in his, oh, this one has butterfly joints. Look at that. Looks like the Pizza Spidey mold. It's not pinless. Yeah, it looks like the Pizza Spidey mold. So we got Professor X in that. House of X or House of M version. See, this is cool because if these hands fit, even though it's not skin hands, it has potential to give him different options, right? This whole idea is, the whole idea is to give him more accessories. This is the one that I'm hoping will fit on it. We got some hand accessories, as I mentioned earlier, hand accessories. A Build-A-Figure that I'm probably never going to use. So yeah. But before we move on, let's get some product shots. Oh my God, this, you know what? I think I'm going to be inclined to agree with people now that the Pizza Spidey mold sucks. It's time to move on, people. Oh my, talk about a stiff joint. Yo, I think I'm gonna break this. You can see here 2 versions of Professor X. Classic from the 90s, and then we have the more modern one. Now, I don't really need to review this. You already know the mold just by looking at it. Pizza Spidey was all black, so they really did nothing to the body with a Professor X head. Let's see if it fits. We'll be in good shape if we can get that head to fit. Oh, yes. Oh no, it's too big. So I tried and tried, and the head just doesn't fit. If you look here, this one's too small for the peg. So we tried, but alas, we had no success. So all in all, let's get him back into the chair. All in all, I'm very happy to finally come across this figure at a reasonable price. The retail was $59.99. I didn't have to spend $200 on it. This guy was only $19.99. Even unfortunately, the head swap accessory gambit I was hoping for didn't work out. Didn't even feel like it fits on its own head again. Damn. God, I'm so glad I didn't use this guy as my main Professor X. But it didn't work out, but at least I finally got both these guys opened and reviewed. Thank you guys for watching. This is Mr. Nightspyder. Have a good one. Peace. Get this figure before the price goes up. You know what occurred to me? Well, I can't swap the heads of these guys. I can have a different Professor version in the chair. And it's not a bad look at all. Not bad at all. Anyway, thanks for watching.